Today, we're going deep into the science of political engineering. This isn't just about an election. It's about a blueprint for governance, born from the very unique soil of Nagaland. We're looking at Southern Angami I, a place where politics is intensely personal, and where trust is the only currency that truly matters.
In these hills, you see, life is woven into the land, into the community fabric, into the word of a leader. For the Southern Angami Naga people, politics isn't some distant game played out in a far-off capital. No, it's the road beneath their feet, it's the light in their homes, and it's the future they see for their children. So when that sacred bond of trust gets broken, the tremors are felt in every single village, in every single home.
And that leads us to the heart of our question today. What does it take for a political party to win back a place that has so completely turned its back on them? How do you reclaim your own heartland? This goes way beyond just counting votes. This is about painstakingly rebuilding a relationship, one promise, one concrete action at a time.
So here's the path we'll take to understand this. First, we'll get a feel for the political landscape. Then, we'll dig into the numbers that tell the real story of discontent. We'll perform an anatomy of why that mandate was shattered before we unveil a very precise, four-phase strategy for re-engagement. And finally, we'll look at how a 90-day action plan can turn all this thinking into a new way of governing.
Okay, let's start with the reality on the ground in the Southern Angami I constituency. This is the home of the Southern Angami Naga. It's a place where tradition and community form the absolute bedrock of society. But right now, the political mandate here is completely fractured. The path forward is anything but clear.
The one feeling that unites everyone on the ground is a profound distrust of the establishment. The Naga People's Front, the NPF, used to consider this place their fortress. Well, that fortress has crumbled. The 2023 election wasn't won by any major party. It was won by an independent. Now that is a massive signal. It's the voters telling you, loud and clear, that they are fed up and are desperately searching for an alternative they can actually believe in.
But to really get a grip on this shift, we have to move past just sentiment and look at the cold, hard data. Numbers, you see, they don't have emotions. They don't have an agenda. They just tell the truth. And in Southern Angami I, the numbers tell a jaw-dropping story of how political fortunes can turn on a dime.
Just look at this trend matrix. For years, the NPF wasn't just another player here, they were the entire game. In 2008, they're sitting comfortably with over 57% of the vote. By 2013, they hit an incredible peak, a commanding 68%. This wasn't just a win, it was total, absolute dominance.
And then, this happens. Look at the sheer scale of this collapse. In just 5 years, one election cycle, the NPF plummets from that 68% high all the way down to just 12%. It's a political earthquake. What happened? Their sitting MLA defected to a new party, the NDPP. And the voters? They didn't just follow him. They abandoned the NPF in a flood. The party's credibility just evaporated.
And this is what that political chaos leads to. 177, that was the winning margin for the independent candidate in 2023. Not thousands, not even hundreds. 177 votes. It shows you just how volatile, how unpredictable this constituency has become. In a climate like this, every single voice, every single family truly matters.
But don't you dare mistake this for voter apathy. The people here are anything but disengaged. Voter turnout is consistently, extraordinarily high, climbing to almost 91% in 2023. This is not a silent population. They are showing up in force, and they are using their vote to shout their discontent from the rooftops. And this, really, is the essence of our constitutional promise, an informed public exercising their voice with dignity and with responsibility.
So, we've seen the what in the data. Now we have to perform the autopsy. We have to dissect the why. What were the deep-seated root causes that led a political giant to completely lose its grip on its own people?
When you look inside the party, it's a paradox. On one hand, it still has deep roots, a presence and a loyal network built over decades in the villages. But those strengths are being suffocated by fatal weaknesses. The defection left a gaping hole in their credibility, and perhaps most critically, the party completely failed to connect with the next generation, leaving young voters feeling unheard and unseen.
These internal problems are then amplified by very visible external failures. The grievances here aren't new. They've been festering for years. A decaying National Highway 2, which is the economic lifeline for the region, a crippling lack of jobs for educated young people, and an electricity supply so unreliable it disrupts daily life. These are not just talking points for an election, they are a constant grinding source of frustration.
And this brings us to a critical turning point. The youth are not waiting patiently anymore. Groups like the Southern Angami Youth Organization are now taking direct action. Their organized protests demanding that the highway be repaired are a powerful symbol. These grievances have transformed from quiet complaints into the fuel for organized, potent political action. This is the new reality.
So you have this incredibly complex problem: a broken political base, deep-seated grievances, and an energized, organized youth. What's the solution? A scattered one-size-fits-all approach is doomed to fail. What you need is a precision instrument, a strategy engineered to re-engage every single part of the community. The proposed solution is called the Chaturmukha Doctrine. Chaturmukha, it means four-faced. It's a strategic framework that is designed to look in four directions at the same time, to see and speak directly to every crucial segment of the voter base. It's built on the understanding that a single generic message is useless. You must have a tailored approach for each group, delivered with precision and with purpose. So, these are the four faces. The first, the absolute highest priority, is the traditional tribal base. The village elders, the community leaders. Trust has to be rebuilt here first, at the very roots. The second and third faces are the Angami youth and women. They represent the future, they feel disconnected, and they are open to a new vision. And the fourth face? That involves engaging with state-level influencers to help shape the bigger picture, but never, ever letting that distract from the essential work on the ground.
Now, a strategy is just a piece of paper. To make it breathe, to make it real, you have to translate it into a concrete, time-bound action plan. This is the 90-day blueprint for rebuilding trust. This is where we move from high-level theory to day-by-day execution.
And this entire action plan is anchored directly to the people's biggest pain points. You can see it on this heat map. Road infrastructure is the highest priority, the thing that needs immediate attention. After that, it's jobs and electricity. The entire plan is engineered to deliver tangible responses to these specific issues. This is about being responsive, not just rhetorical.
The 90 days are broken into four clear phases. The first 30 days are all about building the foundation. You select a clean, credible candidate, and you sharpen the message. The next 30 are about mobilization, launching that new narrative in the villages. Then comes acceleration, an intense door-to-door, face-to-face campaign. And the final phase is dedicated to one thing and one thing only: getting out the vote.
This blueprint seamlessly integrates modern outreach with traditional groundwork. You use WhatsApp pods to create trusted, small group channels for accurate information. You use Instagram Reels to speak to the youth in their own language, on their own terms. And you establish a truth desk to rapidly counter misinformation. But this all comes with a serious responsibility. Under frameworks like India's privacy laws, communication must be founded on consent. You use information to serve people, not to target or exploit them. Now, let's pull back and look at the bigger picture. This entire blueprint, the data analysis, the strategy, the action plan, it's not just about winning a single election. It's about engineering a more responsive future. It's about building a solid bridge from raw data to a new, better kind of governance.
You see, the ultimate goal isn't just development, it's development with integrity. And that requires a new kind of leader, what the blueprint calls a progressive tribal technocrat. This isn't just a label, it's an archetype. A clean, educated, local Angami leader who deeply understands the traditions of the soil, but who also has the modern skills to deliver effective, transparent governance. The whole point is to build a sustainable system of trust that can actually last beyond one election cycle.
And this leaves us with one final, challenging question. Can a data-driven, systematic blueprint like this rebuild not just the fortunes of a political party, but the very foundation of trust between a leader and their people? The answer to that won't be found in any report. It will be written in the hills of Southern Angami. If you want to become a people-centric leader and uplift your constituency, get in touch with blueprintstrategies.ai at mgr@blueprintstrategies.ai or call 080-4204-1602. Purpose beyond politics.